I'm back. I'm back. I'm out of hibernation. Welcome to Full to Ryan. Not really an impromptu video. With me and the boys discussed this over the last couple of days that we were going to put something together and get out there live and do some bits and pieces. So here we are, I suppose. I have an array of strange, cobbled together, just absolute weirdos really today. He's blowing me kisses. I'm going to wait. You're coming in last now for that. You're coming in last. Let's bring in the first one. Mr. G. Good evening, sir.
How you doing, my friend?
Are you still cooking pasta?
Mate, I am scrabbling around this kitchen. She's run off and left me, not sort of for another man or anything like that. She's gone to collect the one that works with you. However, she's buggered off out the door, leaving me in charge of cooking duties. Now, I've got to tell you guys, she's a chef. I can't cook. And she's just sent me a text message giving me a load of instructions on do this, do that. And seriously, I just haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue. I don't know where anything is. I don't know. Honestly, I tell you what, I'm going to have words when she comes back. Seriously.
Yeah. Let me tell you them words are going to go, Rob. Right? This is how this conversation is going to go. It's going to start off with, babe, you left me with a pasta, and she'll go, yeah, I know, and you'll go, oh, all right then.
Yeah,
that'll be
something
the
like
level
that.
of conversation.
I cannot find a colander. All I want is a colander. That's it. That's all I need. You know, I tell you what, Gordon Ramsay doesn't have this problem. Gordon Ramsay does not have this problem at all. But me,
anyway. Dear. I'll tell you what. Anyway, you go back to your pasta, and I'll come back to you.
No, I'll still be here, mate. Don't worry, I'm still here.
You just have a little wander around the kitchen. You'll be all right.
I'm looking in the dishwasher. I'm looking everywhere, mate. Honestly.
Jazz, you cooked, didn't you? Could you pop round Gatesy's house, give him a hand?
No, I can't cook either. I'm useless. I can't. I need to learn. Again, similar to Gatesy, my wife is such a good cook, but she does have a go at me to give her a break sometimes. I need to learn. The boys both cook, and I need to sort it out, mate. But I can help where I can with some simple instructions and omelettes and oven and grill I can use, and maybe a few things out of a tin I can rustle up and stuff. Yeah. Sorry,
microwave technician.
I am the takeaway don, and that's wrong of me. Yeah, I need to calm down on that. Yeah, maybe Gatesy needs to get the pizza number and get that in.
But she's already started. I can't ring up and get a Ruby in. I mean, it's tempting. I've got to say, but the missus has done it.
Yeah,
I could, she's to be fair, it's all homemade stuff, but she just put me in charge of the pasta, buggered off with the dog, and left me holding the pasta.
To be fair, mate, the pasta left you with a dog, and that's a rat on a rope. So let's not even mess around with that. All right, where is he? Let's give him a shout. Where is he? Come on, stop blowing me kisses. I don't need your rubbish. Come on, in you come.
Goodness me.
There he is. We're going to keep them two at the bottom tonight, Gatesy, because the two children mess around. So we're going to leave them at the bottom of the screen tonight. All right, we don't need their shit.
Well, apparently I'm the headmaster.
Stop it.
I'm going to mute them both, Rob. It's going to happen. I'm going to mute them both.
Oh, no.
And they're going to be done. Right. Oh, what have you done, Gatesy? You burnt the pasta or something, or you just? Oh
no. I haven't burnt it yet.
Okay, it hasn't been 14 minutes from hard to soft, so we're all right. Right. So let's to quote Gatesy, let's put some meat on the bones. I don't know where the cheese from. I really don't.
Or cheese on the pasta.
Hello. Hello, all you beautiful people in the chat. It's lovely to have you all on. All 9 of you that are watching this video.
Tell your friends.
Boring night for you guys. So let's discuss some bits, Andy. I know you gave out a little bit of a rundown, so I'm going to bring up the rundown because we are so organised. It's outstanding.
Yeah. Danny Ings,
So-
and someone else has already mentioned it in the chat as well. So
I'll tell you
Let's
what.
start there then.
Yeah. Let's start.
yeah, so well, one, I didn't want him. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to say that, but it's the fact that we're nowhere near anyone. And
Yeah.
and Adam Armstrong's odds, we were favourites, and now we're not. He's gone by half, so Southampton's favourites, because obviously they've missed out on Danny Ings. So this is another strike. Like, we're getting rid of the chain, basically. Like, another player who we should be on. He's in the last year of his contract. A bid should have been in the start of the summer. But I did say to Gatesy off air before we started, I'm not panicking yet. I'm angry, but I'm not panicking. And I think that's where the fan base is turned, because everyone's like, we should be signing. But we could. That's like me at work. I could do everything I wanted to offer someone a job. I could offer them the best desk in the world, nice see-through nice sea view outside.
See-through windows. I thought that's what they were anyway, Andy. To be fair. I thought windows...
All right. The one by the cupboard, the desk by the cupboard. I'll give him that one. Oh. Or by the toilet.
Are you Harry Potter?
Yeah. But, yeah. We could offer him the best thing, and then they can turn us down. And that's what Abraham and looks like Pereira's done. So you can't really slag them off on one aspect as well. If we're offering what they're offering, we don't know that. But I'm just trying to point some light on it as well. If the players don't want to come, then we're obviously, there's not much we can do either. But I'll let Jazz. Look, Jazz is like, he's gone red, bless him. Go on, Jazz.
He's primed and he's ready to go.
He's even in red, so he's like
a red suit. I'm pretty low at the moment, to be fair, and I'm losing it. I think I've had enough. I mean, this season we were very lucky in January. We got Lingard, and we kind of somehow scrambled. We lost the Champions League by 3 points. Let's not forget. We could have easily got that if we got our finger out our backsides a bit more in January. We scrambled into 6th. And we all forget, and I knew this was going to happen, that the club were not going to grasp this good feeling around the club, go heavy in the market at the beginning, and then the players would have come. So if Pereira had seen, we got something good happening, good people are coming in. I don't know what's going to happen with Lingard, but we've done sod all. What is the plan? What I'm really confused about is, I know for a fact, I know David Moyes was offered the Everton job. I know that. And he said no out of a lot of things that were done to him in the past. Then, if you remember, he delayed signing the contract for ages. And why the hell did he do it? It's really confusing me now. What is going on? What is the, and the players, Milesy, I am shocked you're not getting worried, because the targets, 10, 15 targets. If you go back to our transfer show about 7, 8 weeks ago, you did it, I did it, we all did it. When I looked at my list, they're all gone nearly. You know, Daka, we didn't even go in there to make an effort. And they 21, 22 million. The guys on fire in pre-season. The pace, the finishing, winning the penalty, and all the papers like, oh, they got something here. Ryan Bertrand, all these people we looked at, they're gone. And the danger now is our competitors, Villa, Everton, Southampton, Spurs, thanks to Man City largely, and the roundabout, they're all going to end up with 100 million, 50 million, 40. And we're done, mate. We're done, because we haven't done it. We're going to be blown out, mate. And I can't see, unless, all right, the one Gatesy mentioned this morning, that sounded pretty exciting to me. 6'7" was he, Gatesy? Bloody hell, that Belgian guy forward playing in the Belgian league. But
Paul Onuachu.
Yeah. Wow, big guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I looked at his goals on YouTube, and as I said on the stream, he's obviously pretty tidy in the air, and obviously we're a team that last season that we got quite a few set piece goals, so he'd be another sort of weapon in that sort of area. He can take penalties, he can finish off both feet, he's not scared to put his head in. And would I rather take a punt on a player like that, admittedly from the Belgian league, or would I rather sort of like not sign a striker and hope that Michael Antonio sort of like gets to January in one piece, which we know is not going to happen. Mate, we got to sign a striker.
I mean, Gilmore, he went to Norwich on loan. The only thing I can think of is perhaps Chelsea think of us as not direct competitors, but slightly just a couple of places below. The guy, to Norwich, I mean, the guy has got huge potential. You know, you could always use that guy. The only people I can think of is Arsenal are coming in for Sandenberg. You know, you guys know I love that guy. Armstrong, I think Mars is going to go nuts if we don't get Armstrong, because you need two strikers. You need a big guy like Daka and Armstrong. Daka and Armstrong together, like I said in that show, that would have been lovely. 45 million, 40 million deal, offering two different things. One's feisty, big, pacey. The other ones are like Tony Cotty, can come off the bench. You can put them together as well. I've got nothing to talk about, have we? No one in, 4 or 5 goalkeepers. That good feelings hit the ground. Thank God I'm not going to that Atlanta game. They must be trying to get rid of tickets for next to nothing. I mean, I've got 2 season tickets. I don't want to go there. My good feeling from the end of the season has just gone down. I don't know. I'm just on the floor, mate. Seriously, I've just had enough. I mean, that's what we do is we do the history program Hammer Time, and after every good season we've had, we always say we sign no one. Then it really kicks off. Shit hits the fan. We start throwing darts at the board. Then on the last day, he might get his. And why is he always what we call reactive, not proactive? You know you're going to get the shit from us, mate. We're a passionate fans. We're going to go nuts. We're not Southampton or Portsmouth or Bournemouth fans. You know our history. You know what a typical West Ham fan is about. You know, I'm just really upset. You know, and back of my mind, I'm thinking, Jazz, you're so stupid. You knew, didn't you, deep down? You know, being a fan for so long, and it's just really, I'm really in a low, pissed off moment. Really, I
am, Jazz, inside. I am frustrated, but look how late Soufal come in. I'm not saying we're only going to get 1 or 2 players, but I don't think it's just us. I think there's going to be so many clubs because of the Euros, and like we're not the only club. Like half the teams who finished late in the Euros have only come back to training this week. I know you can talk to, I know you can talk to the agents, you can talk to the managers, but it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, if this was a week before the window, like everyone, I think a few people may not know, the window actually shuts on the 31st of August. It's not like last season where it shuts before the first game of the season. I'm just trying to be like inside I am, but I'm not worried yet. If it was a week before the window shuts, I would be, but it's still over a week to go before the Premier League season, and we never know. Maybe they have changed. Maybe they're not. Maybe this could be like the smokescreen, like what they're saying. Like Milenkovic, I think he will sign. I will sign.
Why haven't we used the free transfer market? Why haven't we done that? We've got nothing to lose by doing that. Why don't we bring in a couple of fullbacks, a couple of centre backs? Because we need to get the numbers up, and we can't keep thinking about even more. Oh, I wanted 23. You need to get a bit of everything, even if they're 32. You need to get, if they're on a 3 because of Europa, you need to get a couple of those over the line. You know, just to boost the numbers. And that's not been happening.
I agree, and I agree. I can see it on both sides though. But say for example, David Luiz, he was probably on what 150 grand a week at Arsenal, no transfer fee. He's probably going to want close to 200. I'm not saying we haven't got the money.
He's gone to France. Oh God, is it French league or one of the lower leagues?
I'm just giving him as an example. You know what I mean? Jerome Boateng. I think he would be amazing, but we don't know what his mentality is like. He was probably on close to 200 grand a week. But would he? Even though we're off in European football, would he want to come for 100 grand a week?
What about Ryan Bertrand then?
If I had the choice, Jazz, if I weren't a West Ham fan and a team come calling, even if we offered the same money or probably more, I think he probably would choose Leicester because of the Leicester model. I think if it was between us and Villa, for example, I think he would have come to us. I think
it's how you say.
I'm just trying.
It is, but do you remember how many times? I hate going back into history, but you remember all the books we read of the old managers and even David Cross. They go. When we met John, we didn't want to sign for West Ham. Phil Parkes didn't want to sign for West Ham. It's what the manager the message that he puts across, and he goes, even Mark Ward, he goes, I didn't want to sign for West Ham. Macaroni goes, I'm about to sign for Luton, but when I saw John, when I sat with him, and he told me how I fit into the club, the philosophy, he goes, I wanted to die for him. So it's at the beginning, the player probably 60% doesn't want to join you. But if you can get them on the end of a phone, that can only happen once the club get their bid accepted. So it's up to the club to do their work first, and then the manager has to meet, and then we take it from there. It's a lot of different stages, but looks like we're getting nowhere near anyone because of the money, I suppose. What is that budget? Do you remember? Just one more point. Do you remember Claret and Hugh 2 months ago? They go, our budget is 80 million, and we're like, oh, that's not bad. A bit more than what I thought. I thought it'd be about 60. They're all gone all quiet on that. No one knows what money.
Thing is, I'm not sticking up for him, Jazz, but I think that was on the basis of them getting Anderson out the door for a few bob, getting Yarmolenko out the door for a few bob, possibly Lanzini out the door for a few bob. Well, Yarmo and Lanzini are still in, and I think we're probably going to keep Lanzini, but Yarmo we're probably going to move on. Whereas Anderson, we moved on, and all it's done really is freed up his wages, but we've not really got anything for him of nothing that we can really sort of go to work in the transfer market. So I think we're probably going to be lucky to have 50 million quid to spend, quite honestly.
50? I'll be happy with half. I'm putting really low now. I don't think there's any.
Well, I'm saying I think we'll be lucky to have 50. I'm not saying we'll have 50. I think we're going to be very lucky.
So let me ask this question then, because I have a feeling, okay, that Moyes has come in, and the bullshit that was before, pardon my French, the bullshit that was before of, the leaks left, right and centre seem to have stopped. You're gonna get the news reports like we've been getting with Pereira, like we've been getting with Tammy and Zuma. My question is, or my comment would be, none of us really know what's going on behind the scenes right now. None of us. Okay. Now I was on a stream the other day watching a stream young Jake put out over at West Ham Unofficial. Happy birthday, Jake, by the way. And we need to have a consider it done. We need to have a my brain's gone. I was concentrating on something else in the chat.
You thinking about positions or players or a plan? Or...
Yeah, sorry, yeah, thank you, Jazz. Moyes has obviously got a plan in place. Moyes has obviously got the players that he wants in mind. And I don't think there's any two ways about it, okay? We need to be looking ahead. As fans, there's always going to be some trepidation, guys. I get that. I get that we're going to be... we're going to have some trepidation, some worries, some nerves. At the end of the day, we've had a threadbare squad for a while, and we know we need to strengthen. But right now, behind the scenes, as I say, that's where I was. Thank you, Jake. I was watching his stream the other day, and a comment was made by one of the guests about why does it take so long? Why do we take so long in trying to get a deal over the line and sign a player? Now, news broke tonight as we started the show. We had Danny Ings has joined Aston Villa, and as far as I know, they registered interest probably about 7 hours ago. Okay, and the deal is now over the line. In reality, they probably made their move 2 or 3 weeks ago, because it's not as the response came on the other channel. It's not just about going, do you want this? Do you want that? Fantastic. Here's my signature. Bosh, let's go. There's lawyers involved. There's the moving of families involved, because it's not just going to be like that and away you go. Happy, don't apologise. We're dealing with that in the background. So as Luke said there, we are a friendly channel. We're not putting up with any BS. So no, don't worry, Happy.
He's on the naughty
there's a
step.
lot more goes on behind it. It's down the bloody naughty step. He carries on. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not worried. And Jazz, I fully understand why you are. I get that. Don't look up and punch me. I get that people are slightly concerned, but listen, as the phrase once was said, Rome wasn't built in a day. We don't know what's been going on behind the scenes for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We don't know what Moyes has got planned. Andy, as you've turned around and said, I'll be concerned when that window shuts. And I will be very, very concerned. Good evening, Scott. I will be very, very concerned if we don't sign anyone. Now, as Jazz has said, you know what? There's going to be some massive roundabouts that are about to take place. The old playground merry-go-round is about to start. Now, Jazz, as you mentioned in our chat earlier, things are going to kick off now because all of these sides are going to have extensive amounts of money to spend. All of a sudden, Villa very much look like within the next couple of days they're going to have £100 million kitty. Tottenham.
Then has that money already been spent,
Yeah,
Duke?
they bought 3 players and already 30 million each, I've heard.
Yeah, but you can say that, but what was their budget beforehand? They've bought 2 or 3 players in Buendia.
Well, he was 40, wasn't he? He was 40 million, I think.
Yeah. Leon Bailey's come in today. But that's not to say, that they didn't have that money already in situ.
Exactly.
So,
they've got their own budget.
The £100 million. Yeah, the £100 million. They might have spent 30 of it on Bailey today, knowing that money was going. So they might still have, 75 million quid to spend. Tottenham are going to have 120.
Well, look,
more than
as I said before, look at the business Palace have done. Look at the business Palace have done. Now, I would say that Palace, with all due respect, are not on our level. And I'm sorry if that is, Palace fans, I'm not trying to be patronising, but, we are a bigger club than Palace. I'm not saying we're sort of like much, much bigger than Palace, but we are bigger than Palace, in my opinion.
We're much bigger, in my opinion.
The business that they've done. I mean, I know they've got a new manager and all the rest of it, but Vieira's not sat on his arse. He's gone out and he's done business. Now he needed to do business because obviously they lost a lot of players on free end of their contracts and all the rest of it. And obviously, the style of football he's going to play is probably going to be a completely different style of play to what Roy played. So he's going to need to do some business. But they've backed him. They backed him. Now, as I do agree with Andy, though, I'm not panicking yet, but with every day that goes past where we haven't signed anyone and someone that we've been very heavily linked with goes to another club, I get more concerned if that transfer window shuts and we haven't, as an absolute minimum, bought a striker and a midfielder, and specifically a defensive mid, as an absolute minimum, then I will be really, really, really concerned.
And if David sends that statement, I'm happy with what I've got, I'm going to break the TV and his bloody head. If he comes out with that bloody statement, it's probably written up already. And don't forget 2 more things.
What we tried.
When you look at the owners, I think Southern must be one of the most senior ones on there because they all had changes of ownership. So Levy's an old boy, Sullivan's an old boy. And you think by now, you know what you're doing, mate, in terms of contacts, your relationship with the chairman. And that's another thing I'm worried about, a talking point. How many clubs do want to deal with West Ham? How many people take Sullivan at face value? David, I know he's a good guy. He's got a good name in the football world. Genuine guy, a bit too genuine for his liking in the modern world, if too honest for his liking, really. But when there's two very different people, David Moyes and Sullivan. You wouldn't think they're like mates or anything like that. And that's the thing that's worrying me, how long he's been in the game. He's ruined relationships with chairmen all over the world. And he still doesn't know how to get a deal in fairly quickly in someone like Villa chairman who's been in the Premier League 2 years. You know, there's so many things, like you were saying, that for me, I'm really worried about why we're just not getting things done in the more slicker way, really. Yeah.
What do you boys think? I mean, obviously, we know that Declan Rice has been given 2 contract offers that he's turned both of them down for whatever reason. We can speculate what the reason is. Do you think that if we don't get at least what, you know, as I say, the bare minimum as far as I'm concerned is a striker and another CDM, if we don't go and get sort of like a decent amount of players in with a decent amount of quality, what chance do you think that there is of Declan Rice if he's handed a 3rd contract offer, of him actually accepting it?
Nah. He's going 1 more year, mate. 1 more year. He's gone. 1 more season. That's nice of him as well.
I think I'm inclined with. I think I'm inclined to agree with you there, Jazz. I honestly listen. I put something out. I put something on paper the other day. Actually, I don't know what I've done with it, but I kind of and happy. That's the concern. Is I put down on paper.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
You know what? We've got 3 years left of a Declan Rice contract. Okay, 3 years. Now, if we put the basis on last year's finish, okay, I'm not saying we're going to finish top 6 every season. Let's say hypothetically, we do. The next 3 years, we finish in the top 6 with Declan Rice. We have some cup runs. You know, we play in Europe. On average, that's worth probably more than 30 million quid in prize money. With Declan Rice in that team and at the helm as captain. 3 times 30 is obviously 90 million quid. Now, if someone wants to take him from us, that's the minimum we've got to take. That's the minimum that I expect our club to take. Because that's what we would get back. That's what we would get back if that's what we get back if he stays and he plays. Okay. So minimum for me is the fact that we now can't accept anything less than 90 million quid. If we do,
I think it's gone up, Duke, after Euros. It's more, and he's younger than Grealish.
Listen, yeah. I'm saying, listen, I disagree with you, Jazz. I personally think, Gatesy, what are you doing? I can honestly say that he's probably worth about 120, 125 million. If Grealish is going if Grealish is going there, then it's, for 100 million quid. If Kane's going for 120, then I'm sorry, but for me, Rice is on par with that sort of money. So I can't accept if we let him go for less.
There's not many like him, is there, Duke, in the world in that position like that? There's not many. Yeah.
Now, let me come away from this for a bit, because we've been there for some time on this one, and I don't want to go down the road of our first live video for some time being all very much doom and gloom. I think we're all having enough of that as it is. So, guys, listen, I saw something on Twitter earlier, and it's just cropped back up as I was listening to you chaps there. So there are several players that are rumoured to be, shall we say, surplus to requirements across London. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek was one name that I saw earlier. Now, Andy, you mentioned just then, and Gatesy did as well, about we need another CDM, and I mentioned it earlier as well. We need another CDM. We need some help for the two boys. Sorry, with the three boys, including Noble. We need someone to sit in there now. Chelsea have apparently announced the fact that they'd let Loftus-Cheek go out on loan. Okay, I want to put it to you three, right? I want to put it to you three, and I'll start with Gatesy at the top if he stopped opening and closing cuts. Gatesy, do you think that Loftus-Cheek? And I remember him last year playing against us And he dominated at times in that game. He was superb. He was strong. You know, he's a big fella. I'm not saying that we go out, we get him, and he's going to accept being a bit part player, because I wouldn't expect him to. If he wants to come in and do a job, you know, and if we can get in an option to buy like we've got with Alphonse, Areola, then surely that's got to be a no-brainer, is it not? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Gatesy, on a loan deal. What do you think?
I'd take him. I'd absolutely take Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The only thing that would concern me is his injury record. But if we take that to one side, he is a cracking player. And I still can't find this bloody colander. Honestly, I don't know why she's buggered off and left me in charge of the spaghetti. Honestly.
Okay, Andy, what do you reckon?
I reckon I'm not going around Gatesy if he's cooking. I'm not going around Gatesy.
I say that's why I married a chef, boys.
Yeah. Our next date will be at the ball again, Gatesy.
Oh, you know it, boys.
No.
I'll book a table for us four.
No, on all seriousness, no, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, I think it would be a great addition. I can't remember who said it. It was on someone's stream, and I sort of agreed. Loftus-Cheek gave Declan Rice a battle that day. A couple of times he got past him using his strength and stuff like that. And when you see that, and especially in Europe, in my opinion, when you see a lot of teams, they play normally free in midfield. So can you imagine Loftus-Cheek, Rice, and Souček as a free, and like packing out the midfield? And I think that will take some teams to struggle to get through, in my opinion. And what you could allow is Loftus-Cheek or Souček to get more forward to get on it. I agree. What people are saying in the chat though is his wages are a concern. But if he has a good season with us, and we even offer him, he'll deserve that salary of 100 grand, like 50 grand more than what he's on. But what he's got to understand is Chelsea offer ridiculous salary. Like Hudson-Odoi is on nearly 190 grand a week. He's been on that for the last 2.5 years. Like, money doesn't grow on trees on other clubs. But no, I'll definitely take him.
Jazz?
Yeah, I think a couple of points like Milesy said. I think in both games, Fulham and West Ham last season, he's the only player or one of the few that got on par, if not better over Rice in that midfield. He really did run that show really well. And I thought, wow, Rice hated going up against him. And to be fair, in the last game at their ground, they're unlucky not to get a bit more out of the game. They're all over us. He missed a couple of chances, but they did well. I think, like you said, I wouldn't say his beggars can't choose anything, but I think he's a half decent guy. Hopefully he'll come in. He's a London, hopefully based in London. But I've just got this thing about Sander Berg again. He's a utility defensive mid, right back, right sided centre back as well. But I think the Arsenal guy he's very, very keen. Arsenal are getting hot on. They want to buy Ramsdale and that Sander Berg in the next couple of days, 50 million. I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah, we're going to get desperate, are we? I mean, is my old favourite, which I was really hot on a couple of years ago. I don't know about now. Mitrovic, is Mitrovic going to come? I mean, because he's going to be fairly cheap and he's going to offer that up front. I don't know, mate. We're just scraping the barrel.
Who I was thinking as well? I was thinking Mitrovic, but the other player I wondered, and I'm not saying this is a player that I want to come in. So before anyone starts jumping up and down, and I'm not advocating we should sign him, but I wouldn't be shocked if we did. Christian Benteke.
He signed an extension on Villa already.
No,
Villa?
Not for me.
No, Palace. He's already signed an extension.
Has he?
Andy's about 10 years behind there with that one, wasn't he?
Can't finish. He can't finish. But look at Watford. They
wouldn't shock me if we get a player like that, though.
Yeah, Watford have picked up 6-7 free signings, haven't they? Danny Rose and Joshua King, and they've got 6-7 freebies in there already.
But no, the one player for me, we don't really need him, but could we start? I know it's not the converting, but anything, but Dan James from Man United, loan with option to buy.
Oh, good one. Speedy, isn't he?
I like be available.
Players. I like
Sancho's in. Is he going to play ahead of Sancho? Probably not. Martial.
Mind you, was Daniel
Cavani.
James? He was a signing by Solskjaer though, wasn't he? He's one of his
Cavani.
players.
Yeah, you've got Greenwood. That's a lot of pecking order, isn't it? Rashford, when he's fit, I think he's only out for 2 months. So, but yeah, no, I think we need to. Yeah, I agree, James. Edouard would be. Yeah, I think, but no, I can't believe that we're saying it, and that a European club who finished 6th in the league, we're only probably going to be looking for loans with option to buy. It is, but yeah.
And Marzi, look at Everton, Villa, Spurs, Arsenal, all finished behind us, and they're going to end up with improving their squad. At the moment, it looks like a lot more than we are, and we're going to lose that lead or that momentum we had ahead of these teams, and they're just going to, I don't want to swear, piss all over us next season. We're back to our normal 11th and start arguing and all that amongst, I don't know, mate. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know why the club always does this to us. Why couldn't you just even one signing, and I would be 80% happy than I am today. Just 120 million, like Daka, I'll be dancing in the high street all day, mate. Just give me one, and I'll trust you and say, yeah, you do. You're working in the background. Come on, I'm not. No excuses for me. No, you can't just say where we are now. 2-3 weeks ago, you got no one over the line. No, not for me. I think something's going on, mate. I don't like conspiracy theories. There's something going on.
I think what's going on is we ain't got a pot to piss in.
But why would David Moyes sign a contract then? And I don't like people saying, "Oh no, other club wants him." That's not right either. It's not right.
That's completely nonsense.
I can see him doing what Kirbishy done. If he gets to the end of the window and we ain't bought none, I can see him walking. I honestly can see him walking.
I don't want that statement.
Yeah. Well, it'll be like Kirbishley again, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Gatesy, we've been looking for a striker since January. We're in August? Come on, mate. Come on.
Nuts, isn't it?
8 months.
And exactly what James has said there, we've got European football as a little bit of a sort of like an attraction, and we still haven't got a striker in the door. I am concerned.
People want to sign for Arsenal. They finished 10th. And look at the bloody mess that club's in. And Kroenke, we have a go at him. He's going to pull out a lot of money, whatever. But I don't know. But I think this window is going to be one of the craziest anyone's ever seen. I know a little bit due to Euro, but the amount of deals that still, it's like, are we going to end up with Lacazette? Are we going to end up on the back of some other one? I don't know what's going to happen, mate. But it's going to be 100 million from City going that way, 130 going the other way. That's going to mix it up nicely, and it's going to be berserk. But yeah, we ain't got no more to go out the window. No one else. Yemo's the only one I think left. I don't know who wants him. We're going to get 5 million for him. I don't know, but
I think he'll go on a free, Jazz. To be honest,
it'll probably be like Anderson, wouldn't it? It'll probably be a deal where we sort of basically usher him out the door and get sod all.
But why want to give Connor Coventry on loan? I don't get that one either.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
A guy looks half spicy and decent. What the hell? Oh,
that would be completely nonsensical to me to get him out the door, whether it's on a loan or whether it's a permanent. I'm just like, no, come on, that's ridiculous.
Have they got plans to bring actually someone in that he played? I don't know, mate. Having said all of that, one good thing, I do like the goalkeeper that's coming from Fulham. He's the one I wanted ahead of anyone like the Borough keeper or West Brom. That's the one I wanted. So, yeah, that's the one little happy about that. I didn't want him over the line. But you talk about loan to perm. How many can you buy with a little up front? Because that's going to hit your budget next season. You've got to be careful how many times you're going to go in with a promise to buy them, which looks like that's all we want to do at the moment, So,
I'm just thinking it out there. Do you know, like what we've sort of said with the chain, like obviously Ings and it was the other one, Bailey, announcing today. Do you think we're waiting for another club to sign someone, and that's what's holding a couple of them up? Joe, like a chain. We won't sell until blah blah blah's over. But
what we do in January, like what we didn't do in January. You mean, like we tried to go out and we tried to sign. I think we tried to try and let me put teeth back in. We tried to go out and sign. I think it was Hwang Hee-chan. or it was one of the other guys from either
Italian,
Austria.
plays in Italy, doesn't he?
or
Plays in
from-
Italy. Yeah.
No, it was one of the guys from it's either Austria or Germany. And we went in and they said, we will sell you to him, but we want to get someone in first. And they failed to get someone in. So therefore, we didn't get our man. The problem was we'd already sold our man on the back of the fact that we were hoping to get this guy. When they didn't sign their man, we didn't get that guy, but we were already a man down. And that was what my
That's bad
issue
business.
was. Gatesy, that's fucking ridiculous. Is that you've basically given up a striker on the back of you being trying to go get another one, rather than saying, wait till we get our guy, then you can have this fella. No, we went, have him anyway, and we'll fuck ourselves up. Now, I really hope. Now, you guys have done a few videos over the last week or so, based around some attackers, based around some signings. And Gatesy, I know you took a little bit of shit on Twitter for one of yours. Andy, I know you took a little bit on the chin yesterday with some people that don't necessarily watch the videos or the content that we do.
Yeah,
they do
that's the thing that tickles me.
all
They comment about the headline.
Yeah. Now,
Brilliant, innit?
I watched your video about Lacazette and Aubameyang with Tammy going that way, and there's a gentleman that's writing in the chat right now that defended us when it came to the comments being bandied around. You know, Lacazette's on 140 grand a week, 180 grand a week. Sorry, Yarmo's on 100, but it's rumored to be between 115 and 140. You know, if we can get rid of him, do we bring in Lacazette? Is there an opportunity? I'm not going to say there's not. I take Lacazette all day long.
Over Aubameyang.
You know,
I'm just going to address this point from Eric, if I may. Eric, absolutely fine, mate. All it was somebody. There was a West Ham Twitter account that retweeted it and latched onto it, and then a few people chipped in and all the rest of it. And listen, it's all about opinions. The thing that irked me was that there was there was one particular individual that when I questioned them on it, whether they'd actually seen the recording that I did, the response was, what recording? And I'm just like, well, okay, so you've just looked at the headline and you've reacted to that. That's fine. You've not listened to anything in context. But at the end of the day, one thing I will say is I do believe that there's no such thing as bad publicity, because this guy retweeting it put that stream to an audience that perhaps otherwise it wouldn't have reached. So thank you very much. Bring it on.
No, I want to echo what Gatesy said as well. It's like, I don't want you to. I'm just trying to, like, a few people have mentioned players, and I've obviously looked out in the Bundesliga. So, like, Duke's probably more knowledge than what I have, because I remember that's what he said when the pub was shut. That's all you watched on BT, wasn't it, Duke? That's all they were showing. All live games on there as well. But like, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but like, I agree, it's probably going to, I would say probably 80% now balled out at the club, probably, or is that a bit too low? Do you reckon 80%?
No, I probably think you might be going a bit higher. I think you're probably looking a bit higher now.
Yeah, so let's just say around 80%. But everyone's got their West Ham at heart. That's the reason why we do this channel. That's the reason why we do this. And when the SPACs happen, we all want the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's really frustrated me, especially over the last couple of days, is people sitting at home, no picture, just a keyboard warrior, don't know who they are, and Duke's done exactly the same thing. Said, we've got a thing tonight, come and say your opinion, and they haven't. So
didn't even say no thanks, did they?
No,
that was what tickled me. They didn't even say no thanks.
My best mates have been found through that, because I used to gob off a lot, you know that. But then when someone said, like, come on, and we ended up being best mates. Loads of channels I don't want to mention, but couple of things I used to be fighting. You know, David Moyes is the biggest one. Everyone knows who's
Yeah.
listening and watching. But they go, Jazz, come on then. And I came on. We had such a crack and got on so well. So like you said, we're all one family, and we got enough enemies outside of West Ham. Then bloody start bickering like you're right. I mean, yeah. Listen, I blow hot because of my love for West Ham, but I'm hoping I'm quick enough to apologise next day when I cool down a bit as well. You know, but then like you said, people, it's been 24 hours. Perhaps no one's come forward to say sorry or come on, but that's a bit naughty.
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, the doggies in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, where's Duke? Where's Duke disappeared to?
He's crashed, I think.
Maybe into
Oh,
thing,
no.
Yeah,
No.
Has he been
Oh,
having
no.
issues? Yeah.
But no, like I said,
not
Yeah.
this is the difference. This is the difference with this channel. Is we might not agree on everything, but we're all as one, and that's what I love. And I'm not saying that all channels are like that, because you do get some bad eggs or whatever anytime. But like you see in the chat now, we're just having a healthy conversation. You can see the comments flowing in, and that's what I love. Like, we might not agree on players.
Yeah, another positive. Got Ben Ramos look unbelievable. You got whatever's positive, you got to say it. He's looked cracking in training, cracking in pre-season. But we just got to buy more players. You know, we just got to buy more players. We can't rely on. And I haven't counted how many people other teams have got in their squad, but we've got to be one of the lowest. You know, and we're saying, like, rightly so, deals break down due to a lot of complications, but you can't tell me out of 7-8 players we need, we can't get one over the line. I can understand 4 breaking. Like, you know, 1 or 2 got to get. I'm completely the plan.
I think that Jazz, you
mate.
saying that about them not coming over the line. Listen, we're hearing about the ones that, in my opinion, possibly anyway, that we're hearing about the ones they want us to hear. Do you know what I mean? There might be stuff going on behind the scenes that and again, I said it earlier, we haven't got a clue in the grand scheme of things. We're hearing about Tammy, because Tammy's come out and told people that fuck West Ham, I ain't going there. Jesse's turned around and gone, fuck West Ham, I ain't going there. So that's going to hit the news, because people knew that we wanted Jesse to come back as fans, as you know, as a club. We wanted Jesse back there. Well, it ain't happening, you know, and because there was all of this, we want him back, and now it's not happening. That's hit the news. You know, West Ham are in for a striker. I'll tell you what, there's a bloke living on an island off the back of Scotland that doesn't have a TV, that doesn't have radio, that doesn't have internet, yet he knows West Ham need to sign a striker this season. He knows that, despite the fact that
he heard it in January, didn't he, when he laughed on the TV?
So yeah, so he knows that. So the world know it. So any time that there's a striker that may possibly be linked with us, if anything kind of gets leaked that, if anything's getting leaked that, you know, Tammy said no, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. And
yeah, but you imagine we're getting closer and closer to a player, and suddenly today they get a telephone call from Southampton, telephone call from Villa, telephone call from Tottenham. Then we're back in the queue, mate. That's the thing is that's the thing I'm worried about. I think we're getting more people that are gonna come into our area. I think so. There's, you know, agents are like, you know, what players like, they don't keep any secrets, mate. They're the I don't want to swear, but they're the lowest of the low, aren't they, agents? Sometimes. I mean, okay, I might be being unfair to them, but most of them are a bit shady. Secrets are, yeah, you know, that's just my feeling. I think we just made it harder for ourselves because we got no one to sell, have we? Like, worthy of any mention or name to help our budget, to be fair. Was it Scott Parker, the last player we spent money for? 9-10 million? I can't remember, but yeah. I think we're so lucky we had Lingard on that last day. I don't know how we pulled that one off. Imagine we didn't get him over the line, we would have had it. But
on the plus side,
good goalkeeper. Ben Rama doing well, looking good. Looks like he's been in the gym. Good upper body strength, which we were all mentioning on our videos that he needed. And yeah, looking cool. So, but what Duke said, I think all of you guys said, such a good statement. we're only one injury away from a volcano, aren't we? Erupting around the club, and you know, Antonio. I mean, I think I heard in Brentford he just went down. There's nothing wrong, but everyone's just like, "Oh my god, just one injury away, aren't we?" Yeah.
But I think the positive to what we can take out of it is, I know we're a couple of players down. Is Moyes has got the players playing. I know it's a different season. But even through the shit,
yeah,
he's got them playing. And Stuart Pearce, I think Alan Irvine's the big miss, and that'll be the one to determine like how we react. I know, I forget is it Billy McKinley, isn't it, who come in?
They'll get someone in. Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
That's even more of a shame, isn't it? That's even more of a shame that the players are so happy, great environment, they love everyone, and we just can't build on that just to get ourselves into that next level. And that's a shame for me, really, losing that little bit and making those coaches, players' jobs even harder. We're not a miracle, we're not magicians, are we? Yeah.
I said this the other night when the takeover news, when the last live show we done, Jazz, is I'm fearing that Leicester at home, that first game of the season. Because if nothing's happened then, it's a Monday. A load of people have obviously going to book the day off work.
Yeah. Is the window shut by then?
No.
Still got a couple of days to go. It's shut.
31st of August, yeah. 31st of August, the cut-off point.
So when the Leicester game kicks off, the window shut?
No, it's still open. No, it's still open. 31st of August, the window shuts.
What's the date of the Leicester game?
Oh, it's like the 16th. We've got two more home games. We've got Palace at home on the 29th or 28th before. And that's a 3 o'clock kickoff, Jazz. 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday.
They used to say they wanted the window shut before the season starts.
Yeah, they changed it.
I think the Leicester game's going to be dependent in a large part, I think, to the performance and the result, though. I think if we go out there and we at least, look competitive, it's not going to be that bad. But I can see that if we go out there and stink the joint out and get turned over, that coupled with the lack of transfer activity, I agree. I think it could be really, really volatile.
Oh, it's just me.
They're dropping like flies.
It's just me. It's just me, myself, and I.
No, I'm here.
I know, I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, it's going to be. Do you think this is what the owners want, though, Gatesy? Do you think that all these talks about the ownership? I know David Sullivan stepped himself in it, but do you reckon this is going to be used as an excuse now?
I don't know. I mean, you say, do the owners want it? I mean, do the owners want fan unrest? Probably not. But does it bother them? Probably not. I think they're quite apathetic about it. I think possibly David Gold. It probably bothers more because out of the two of them, I do kind of think David Gold is the proper West Ham fan out of the two. I'll give him that little bit of leeway, whereas I'm not too sure that David Sullivan is. I don't know, mate. I don't know what's going on. I mean, like I say, it's getting concerning now.
Guys, your headphones are gone. Can't hear you.
Oh, the lips are moving, but we can't hear him. Oh well.
No,
but I don't think they want the aggro from the fans, but I don't think that, as far as David Sullivan's concerned, I think it's all water off a duck's back with him, to be quite honest with you, mate.
Need to change them, Jazz. Need to go in your settings. Need to go in your settings and change it.
I think with him, he's like he's got the skin of a rhino. I'm just going to pick James up on this point. I mean, if he was a proper fan, he would walk away. Now, here's the thing: David Gold owns what 35% of the shares, thereabouts. Correct me if I'm wrong, there, Andy. Thereabouts.
I think so, yeah.
And
still can't.
So if the club's valued at,
okay, sorry, guys, one sec. Jazz, come out and come back in again. It's probably easier. Come out the thing and come back in. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He-
guys.
Basically, the point I'm making is that if he owns 35% of the equity in West Ham United Football Club, and the club is valued at, let's say, 600 million, and he owns he owns a third of it. That's, like I say, that's just over 200 million pounds. Now, I don't care how much money David Gold has got in, his bank account. He is not going to walk away from 200 million pounds.
No, it's not.
And to be fair, why should he? From a completely selfish point of view, would I like him to walk away? Would I like him? But they're not going to walk away. They're only going to walk away when someone presents them with a price for which they feel the club is appropriate to sell the club for. And we can argue the toss about, is the club worth what they're asking for? I don't think it is, because what was it, 2 years ago, Brady said 800 million quid, and I'm sat in there and thinking, well, this is for a club that doesn't own their own stadium, who has training facilities that are, very far from probably even League One standard, if we're being honest about it. 800 million isn't realistic, but the fact of the matter is, whether we like it or whether we don't, if that's the price at which they will sell and not a penny less, then we're stuck with them.
Yeah, David Gold is. Yeah, even if he wanted to sell his shares, would someone come in and just do that? Do you know what I mean? Come in and say, I want 35% working under David Sullivan. So I think the only way you're going to get them out is for all of them to go, really.
But again, they're not just going to walk away from the club, are they? That's unrealistic. I might want it, but I appreciate it's unrealistic. They're only going to go when someone slaps an amount of money on the table that to them is appealing enough for them to go, there's my shares, see you later.
Yeah. Is Jazz in the green room? Is Jazz in yet? Or is he still?
Hang on a minute. Let me have a look. Oh, yes, he is. Sorry. It's all right. There he is. That's better.
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Carry on, my friend.
Yeah, what I was saying with Sullivan, he's going to wait until 2023 when he doesn't get that charge when he sells. And if you know you're going to sell in, 18 months, 24 months, you're not going to put the money in. They're going to say, fuck the training ground, can't be bothered. I'm not going to be around to see it. And deep down, yeah, I think he knows we fucking hate him. He doesn't want to be around. He knows he's a human being. We despise everyone to do. Gold's on his last legs. He's passed a lot of the money down to his daughters now. So I think 2023, they're going to go out, but we're just going to suffer for another 18, 24 months because I don't think there's going to be any money coming in, mate. Yeah.
Do you think they're just going to sell to anyone, or do you reckon they'll have a thing and try and
anyone?
Try and
I think anyone. It's not their issue. I think anyone.
so?
They're talking crap at the moment because there's an issue over the money value. They're trying to sound as though they're on our side, but they're
The only thing.
businessmen. Yeah. Look at Birmingham.
The only thing
some crook,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. They sold Birmingham to Carson Ewing, didn't they? And he was as dodgy as anything. But the only difference is that if they do have the best interest of the club, as they claim to do, I'd like to think that they would at least do their due diligence a little bit better than they did when they sold Birmingham. Hopefully, they've learned from that particular mistake.
I reckon.
But we'll wait and see.
I reckon they want 600 million that really gets. 400 is not bad. Newcastle was even much less than that.
350 with a training ground, stadium, what you own.
What do we think about Pi?
I think.
What do we think about this Pi, PAI Capital?
Oh, you never know, do you? You never know until they're through the door. You never know. Look at Tony Fernandez, Malaysian Airlines. You don't know which way it's going to go. Unless you're Arab. See, Saudis, I heard news that they actually said that the reason the Saudi deal fell, they're trying to resurrect that now, and there's a couple of mistakes and misunderstandings between some groups. So if that goes through, I don't know, in the future, then again, that's another competitor is going to have an edge over. Because that's another thing I was going to mention, just remember, why are all these players going to Saudi League? Because I heard Saudi want to match UAE and the world in terms of, look at that boxing match. That's going to be in Saudi. They want a Formula One Grand Prix. They're in there big time. So they're trying to get, because they got a bad human rights record. They got a bad image in the world. They're trying to compete with Dubai. I've heard they want to
get out the oil a little bit and, diversify their investments and stuff. So I think that's why it's like the China League is finished now. The leaders have said, we tried, it's failed, just pull all the money out. Saudis are trying it now. God knows what it's like to play there. A lot of players are gone there. And that also, I know for the wrong reasons. If Saudi royal bloody family connected people take it, how can that be bad for us? I mean, how can ethically? Half the millionaires in the world ethically are wrong. 8 out of 9 people who are rich and really, really rich in the world have done it on the back of a little bit of things they shouldn't have done. So for me, I don't think that would be bad. I mean, they're in competition with City. That's clashing, and they want to get one. They try. And then what's the other thing? Another funny thing is Gaddafi was very close to buying Man United. I found out from another podcast I was listening to. But I think Saudis are. There's a company called Aramco, Malzi, oil company. They've been trying to float on not sure where they want to float, half of it on the FTSE, half of it in a nuke stock. And when that company goes live, oh my God, it's going to be worth a lot. And the guy bloody owns it, He can't put his name directly, but, so for me, I don't care. But I'm so shocked that no one out there has not picked West Ham up. It's an obvious for me. It's a bargain to buy West Ham.
See, I'm not good at politics, Jazz. You may know more than me, but obviously Abramovich. Is there any other rich Russian people or anything?
Oh, there's loads, mate. There's loads.
He got him killed, didn't they? There was one. He died. I mean, allegedly.
Boris Berezovsky.
Yeah. He was close with West Ham.
Yeah.
He wanted to. He was just lending money now and again and stuff. Yeah.
Well, there was that other geezer, wasn't there? Suleiman Kerimov, who took over a team in Dagestan called Anji Makachkala, and they signed, amongst other people, Samuel Eto'o, who probably didn't have a clue where he was even going when he went there, sort of thing. He was richer than Abramovich. He had more money than Abramovich, but he got bored of it very quickly. And that's the thing that concerns me is someone coming in. I mean, do you remember Portsmouth? They got taken over by a guy called Alexander Gaidamak, and he was going to build them a new stadium, and they were going to do this, and they were going to do that, and all the rest. And all he did is he just pissed a load of money down the drain, put the club into so much debt, and 4 years after winning the FA Cup, they were in the 4th division.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I want to avoid. As much as I know. Keen on the current incumbents at the club.
If I was Sullivan,
I'm just careful.
I'll be out there looking for royal people. Like, come on, because
I don't think that they're bothered.
Okay,
I think if someone comes to them with the money, fine, but I don't think they're actively looking. I've got to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong.
Can you imagine when you just come out? Whatever they do, they're going to come out with a really, really, really good profit. And imagine you just put your feet up. You're towards the end of your life. I don't know what isn't. You can't take the money when you die with you. One of these people understand that, and we believe in, especially Asian culture. Every night, how many fans saying bad things about them, and that's not nice for a human being. So there's a lot of people that swear at them every day, saying that's not a good blessing for a lot of humans. That's not a good thing to be thought of that in the world. And I'm sure you want to let go of that and just do something a bit good at the end. But then that's just me. I'm not them. I don't know what they're thinking. And
so I've just had a look, yeah. So
he's not in Nick, at least. He's in his bedroom. He's not in the police cells.
Yeah.
I'm good. What's up,
Are you wearing handcuffs? Are you wearing handcuffs? What's going on?
Was it Toronto's probably about 5 in the
Yo,
6 in the evening?
I'm free and open, man. How do you mean?
But no, I've just had a look at the richest men in the world. Yeah. So why can't Tesla boy?
There's enough Indians up there, mate. The Ambanis, they're not interested in Gits. They're loaded, the two brothers. Especially the Reliance guy.
180.
They got money coming out. They got money coming out.
Ambani's son-in-law was pissing about with QPR many years ago, but he's not really interested. He's very low. Lakshmi Mittal, the steel guy he bought the American embassy to live in. He's very low profile. Again,
he's minted.
Yeah, but they're sensible. They're low profile, look like bloody Trump and people like that, and they don't want to. And you got to be nuts to be in football, isn't you? It is a casino, isn't it? To go into football, you got to be mad. because you're going to get so much.
Yeah.
They can't be bothered, these people.
And the
but-
thing is, there's so many people out there, the super rich, you know, and we can all dream, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have X, Y, Z? But
it's got to be
you
a
know,
political decision. I think Saudis they definitely want a club. Saudis do want to make their name on the map. So the losses doesn't matter to them. Like Abramovich, he perhaps did things he shouldn't have done, but he's cleared his name and he's looked upon as a half decent chap because of football.
I think that the price that they're asking for is way too much. Like I say, for a club that doesn't own its own
450,
ground,
that's enough.
If we owned the ground, then I'd understand, because you got that sort of like as an asset on the books, blah blah blah. But you know, we don't own London Stadium. We can't do anything.
Another
to
thing,
it
Gatesy, is if they come in and perhaps there's an option to rebuild your ground, that's going to cost a fortune. So that's what they're saying, is like the more they want, the less we're going to be able to do after the deal. You know, so 400, 450, that's a good deal. What does anyone know what they paid for West Ham back then? Does any?
80 million.
I think,
huh?
80 million.
There was about 100 million worth of debt, wasn't there? As I remember.
That's still there,
right?
isn't it? That's still there.
No, we've got
100,
138 million in debt. We still are.
Yeah.
What was it at the time? It wasn't too far away from that when they walked through the door, was it?
I think it was about 150, Gatesy, off the top of my head.
So in what, 11 years they've brought the debt down by 12 million quid.
Pretty much.
That's a great job, isn't it? Brilliant. I tell you what, with financial acumen like that, I'll tell you what, you cannot go wrong. Surely, what could possibly go wrong?
It's a shame the kids are thick as the parents, which they. Why can't they just, Dad? Why don't you just give a free pie and a pie? You know, we don't after a lot. Just to, I don't know, their brains and their. What can you? Look at what Leicester do, isn't it, Marzi? Free pie.
Oh, I'd love owners like Leicester. I'd love owners like Leicester.
Look at Schmeichel, the goalkeeper. When they won the FA Cup, he's in tears. The owner's in tears. Look, all the players are looking in the heavens. I'm like, I am jealous. When I was watching that, I was away that weekend. I was jealous. I'm like, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know.
Right. So,
Pete, are you getting concerned with our lack of transfer activity, Pete? Talk to me.
Yeah, I am, but I'm not, because I think the reason why Moy stalled on the contract was because he doesn't want anything leaking, and I'm still confident. And like Milesy said, I think it was, until the day is done, when we don't get nobody, then I'll be concerned.
Okay.
But right now,
Peach, give me two players you think we're going to sign that are up there in the market, or roughly you think.
Pereira
signing for the Saudi team tomorrow. 17 million, deal done. He's gone, mate.
I know, but it's a typical in it. Like, I'm going to say Pereira and Zuma, but I want bigger than that, to tell you the truth.
Zuma, I'm worried about his mindset joining us.
Yeah, like that was Abraham all over. Like Abraham, like what was it like back in the day? He was like, "Oh yeah, West Ham, that sounds good for me." And then all of a sudden, you don't want to come here. He wants to go to Arsenal to make more dollar bills.
That centre back that plays in Italy, available for 13 million. Yeah,
Milenkovic. Yeah,
it's such a good deal.
I can still see that happening. I think what a lot of people are saying. I can see Zuma being the smokescreen because they're thinking that we're not, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's done like Friday.
He's meant to be a really good signing.
There's
There's
a story doing the rounds that we're back in for Chaleta Zar. I don't know if you've seen that.
Who's
That's
that?
come out in the last couple of hours. He's the Croatian centre back that plays for Marseille. He played, the first game we played in the Euros. He was one of the centre backs for Croatia that game, and he had Harry Kane in his back pocket.
Oh, right.
You know who I'd like, Jazz. Honestly, is that Czech boy, Huslak or whatever his name is. I think he'd be good.
Me and Andy, we wanted Daka. I wanted Daka. And I was heartbroken.
Oh no!
Every time I score for Leicester,
on him, man.
It's going to kill me bit by bit,
Yeah.
And Milesy, I clicked on I didn't want to click on it. Like they go, look at Daka winning a penalty, scoring. Oh, that
I sent you it, didn't I?
Watching that killed me. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't want to.
We ain't had no integration with the chat, so if realistically, like what Jazz has just asked to Peach, what 2 players do you think, not what you want, will be done by 31st of August?
What's left in the cupboard?
Yeah.
Cut the baked bean tins, tuna.
Carlton Cole and James Collins.
Maybe a tin of tomato soup still.
No, like I said, Idager Johnson. He's in talks. Batshuayi.
Nicholas Anelka.
No,
bring in Balotelli while you're at it, dog. Throw in Balotelli.
Tony Adams.
Wait, surely Palace can't take Batshuayi on loan again 3 years running, surely.
Okay, no signings.
Never know.
Someone says no signings.
He must fancy some of the coaches in Palace. Alex,
I agree with that. Edouard, I think, is worth a go. I think he'd be worth a go. I'd say about 12 to 15 million quid, but who knows? But he's a player. But, I mean, obviously, that's at Celtic in the Scottish Premier League. But then again,
we need to spend money.
You look at some players that have come from there in recent years. You look at Van Dijk. You look at Tierney. They've come like south of the border. Dembele. They've come and tested themselves in the Premier League, and they've done themselves justice. So
talking of Scottish,
let's have a look at him.
Daily back.
Apart from 1 or 2, anyone at Sheffield United you guys can think of? Apart from the 1 or 2 you mentioned, anyone? There wasn't much, was there, really, in that team? To be fair, there wasn't much.
Chad, what do you think? If we sign Hasselak and Armstrong, would you be happy? Like 2 up front?
Armstrong and what's the other one? Sorry, Armstrong and what's the other one?
Hasselak, I think his name is from Czech Republic.
Hlošek.
What position is that? Is that centre back?
Yeah, that man.
No, because I want Armstrong in as like I only want Armstrong in if we can get a physical guy alongside him. Armstrong can't play in a 4-2-3-1 on his own physically up front. I don't think so.
Okay. So Hasselak
I want him, and I don't want
Adama Traore.
I want Armstrong.
Adama Traore and Hasselak. There you go. Done.
No. I want Armstrong to slowly come in off the bench, prove like he'll bang the goals in. He can finish. I know the lad can finish. And then I want a big guy who starts, and then hopefully some guys can play both up front. Yeah, I don't know.
Big striker.
Adama Traore. What are you dealing with? Like he's like, no, he wasn't on the Barcelona B team for nothing.
Antonio Traore. I don't. What the problem we've all got? These are all great players. We just haven't got the money to buy all of them. So we're just trying to think.
We do. Yes, we do. They are. We need a left back,
right back, centre back.
I don't think they've got a pot to piss in, Peach. Exactly. I really don't.
Exactly. So we're just trying to think.
I think when me and Gatesy went to Southend the other week, I think we even sold one of our porter cabins to Southend. I think. Like when we was there, porter cabin looked exactly like the one at I've seen at the
I think it was a loan to an option to buy.
No, Miles, he done a graffiti on it. I was here, and he found it.
Yeah. Miles, he was here.
I love Tracy.
Call this number.
No, but Armstrong, the worry is they're not going to spend 16 million and put him on the bench. And I think David wants a big guy, big centre back, and he's stubborn on Lingard. I don't know if something we don't know. It's all gone quiet. I know they wanted Grealish United. I think they're a bit gutted about that. I know they've got Sancho, but I thought Grealish was the one every top club should have got. And Liverpool being very, very quiet, Liverpool. Because they're after their centre back. You know the guy they bought from, last season? He's a good lad. He's the big guy they played at the back from.
I know.
Nat Phillips.
I think he looks after. Yeah, he looks all right.
Yeah. So I agree with what I think it was Foe said it up earlier. I can see Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in on loan. I honestly can see that happening.
On loan, I'm happy. I'm fine because he's in. Yeah, don't do perm. He's a good lad.
Hey, Mozzie, you know who I want, dog? Like I don't know if y'all will agree. I want Ruben Loftus-Cheek, man, straight up.
Yeah,
we were saying that earlier.
Mentioned him. Yeah, mentioned him earlier.
I love him at the club, man.
I'll say pack him in. Bring Ox in. Bring bloody. We need as many bodies over the line as possible.
Did he go Fulham on a permanent, or is he still a Chelsea player?
Sorry, Gatesy.
I say, is Loftus-Cheek, is he still a Chelsea player? Or was that a lot?
Yeah. As far as I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
just not loan
He
him
can't have
from.
long left on his contract, can he?
No. I think he's got 2 years. I think he signed a 5-year deal
Did he?
when Mourinho was there.
So surely he's got to be thinking that,
I'm
Chelsea's got to
looking,
be
I'm
thinking
looking,
maybe
I'm
it's time to move him on.
Who's going to
'Cause
the
he's not got a future there, is he?
Miles? Are you going to Atlanta game? Are you? Anyone going to Atlanta?
Got a better
game?
offer. What about you?
I told you my answer. I'm pretty down to dumps, mate. No, I don't want nothing to do with it at the moment. No,
Yeah,
I'll stay
everyone in
away
the
for
chat.
one.
Is anyone going? Because
You
I
imagine
was
we had a
originally going.
big signing.
What, the
Pre-season, I'll be
Atalanta
the
game?
first one there. I'll be the first one there. So excited. Buy the new shirt. Get the new boy's name on my back. Look at Kufal. We haven't even mentioned. They're treating him like crap. Look at Kufal isn't the first name going on my shirt. Look the way they're treating him. It's just not on. You can't even look after the players you've got. Look, 2 players, Rice and Kufal, can't do nothing right. You can't blame that on the agents or something else going wrong. These are your own players. You can't even.
See you happy. Take care.
Right. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek signed a contract extension on 2019, a 5-year deal. His contract runs out the 30th of June 2024.
Oh shit!
He's got 3
Marzi,
years.
what's your comments on Rice and can't even look after the boys that we've got?
Yeah, what's up, Milesy? What's up, Milesy?
But Deck, I'm not worried about yet. I think he'll do what Grealish has done.
Yeah, he's going
I'm glad you put that in, Milesy.
I think he'll do what Grealish will do. I think he'll sign like an extension in January, like what Grealish, to add the value, because they've got to pay out the 5 years. I could see him sign a 5-year deal. And maybe leaving next summer or the summer after.
No. 1 more year with Rice. He's not. No chance. He's not staying unless something amazing happens and we spend good money on good players. And it's not even like we keep saying. It's not always about money. It's about getting bargains out there. At least show that you're getting the numbers over the line and being clever. It's not all about money.
Do you know a player?
I think Rice is bought into West Ham. I think Rice is bought into West Ham. I really do. I know he's a Chelsea man through and through, blue, but I think he's bought into what West Ham's doing.
You say that though, Peach. The only thing that I would counter is
please.
Gonzo did one of his morning vids, and he made a very good point. And he said that, make no mistake, Declan Rice is ruthless as far as his football career is concerned. Yes, he might love West Ham, but he loved the Republic of Ireland, and that didn't stop him making the choice to say, although I've got 3 caps for this country, my future's going to be better served putting on an England shirt. So
he's staying.
So he
I disagree with that.
Will do what's right for his career.
The Republic of Ireland, dog, or did he just did he just get into the Republic of Ireland to be an international? Real talk, man.
He loves the fans.
He didn't love him. He just stepped in there to be international, and then he saw a bigger team. He's like, bang, I'm gonna go with them because that's where my family lays, and that's why.
Is the Atalanta game on the telly?
But
it might be on Facebook, I think, and Twitter. I think there's been no.
Okay.
The one player I said would be all over, especially the fact that Santos has left, is Ruben Neves. I'd be all over that.
How old is he?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Only like 24.
Really? Oh wow! I'm thinking of Marino. What's his name?
Martinho.
Yeah, Martinho. He's a good lad.
Jota would be. I like Jota, man. I think Jota's like even in the championship, he was sublime, man. I think that kid has bags of skill.
But no.
Who is that, Peach?
Jota. Jota. Jota.
Oh, Diogo Jota. Yeah. He's at Liverpool, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I think he has bags of skill.
He had the crap Euros, didn't he? To be fair, he was average in the Euros, but he's all right.
Yeah, but so was Harry Kane. Like Harry Kane missed the first day of training at Man City or Tottenham, and he missed the whole flipping Euros. So,
Harry Kane had a lovely holiday in the Bahamas. He deliberately overran it. I have to admit something. I have been watching a bit of the enemy over the line on their channel. I just want to see what they're up to with the Harry Kane. I think I'm not the only one, but I have been watching my two little lovely twins up to their
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, so I've
You
just
know
had a
what?
look,
You know
Jen.
what I just missed? You know what I just missed because I'm on with you, dog? I just missed my Love Island, man. I just missed my blood clot Love Island, dog.
Oh, you
Please,
don't
Yo,
watch that, do
real
you?
talk.
mention that.
Yo, I'm worried about Toby,
What have
dog.
you mentioned?
Toby playing like this girl and that girl and that girl and this girl, dog. I'm worried
I,
about them
I
things.
can't
dog.
understand a
That's
word you're
your
saying now,
people, dog.
Peach. I've got no idea what you're on about.
Yeah, you do. We all got guilty
Never,
pleasures, dog.
never
That's my
seen,
guilty
never
pleasure,
seen a
dog. I ain't
second of
even
it.
playing with
Yeah,
you, man.
tell me,
I've never seen a second of that. Honestly, never seen a
I
second
saw
of it.
every second
My
of
kids,
that, and I ain't ashamed to say it. Big
Listen,
up
I'll
Love
admit to one
Island. How you
thing.
mean?
I watched the first two Big Brother, and I met one of the winners, and that's
Oh,
it
I know.
after that. Big Brother, when Big Brother started, I watched the first two.
Yeah.
I'm going back 98, 99, I think, when it came.
yeah, it'd be about that, wouldn't it?
Big Brother.
Oh, that's when
Yeah.
it was near Upton Park, wasn't it? West Ham. That's when.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
when
it was
Big. That's
at
when
the
it was
Bowl.
originally. Wasn't it?
Yeah. And then it moved to like Derby or some shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to end the stream fairly swiftly. Thanks for coming along, guys.
Share the pasta. Come on, share the pasta.
No, I've been polishing it. I've been polishing it off, like in between sort of chats and whatever.
Hold on.
What's with the pasta? What pasta? What, Gatesy? What are you feeding me, dog? What's with the pasta?
Well, I said it's not spaghetti. It's the twisty. Was it? I don't know. Is it fusilli?
Peach, you don't eat anything, do you? Apart from Rizla.
I know what you mean. For lefties.
Yeah.
Rizla and
But guys,
chips,
those of you that are still with us,
I got my Rizla.
those of you that are still with us, you've got the banner there. This is all on the description below, YouTube, Facebook. At the very least, could I ask you to copy and paste it, put it onto your social media platforms, because this little girl, Isla Caton, is in a race against time. She's battling neuroblastoma. Her family have got to get the treatment overseas. They've got to pay for the treatment, the cost to get to and from wherever the treatment is in the world, etc., etc. Guys, this is a family that desperately needs help. So if at the very least you can put this onto your social media platforms with a little note of what it's about to raise the awareness and maybe even get a couple of coppers into the tin, so much the better. And if you are feeling a little bit flush and a little bit generous, please don't let us stop you putting a couple of coppers into the tin as well. And I thank you very much indeed for your attention as always.
Sorry, gents.
Good job, Gates.
Someone's just sent a link to this. Allegedly, West Ham are beginning to consider complying a possible list of loan targets. The club are worried that they've left their business too late and hopeful to recruit in January.
Really?
No.
Send that to us, mate. Well, I fancy having a giggle.
I don't think. I'm thinking can't be that. I mean, I'm pretty down the dumps. No. Surely not.
No, I agree with you, Jazz. Moyes would not have signed a contract if he didn't know things were in place.
That's the thing that's bugging my head.
Well, like I say, I can see a Kirbishley situation, because if he was made promises that you've got X amount to spend in the transfer window, David,
I'm happy
and then when he signed the contract, and then it's like, well, we said we was going to give you X amount, but actually we're going to give you half of that or whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if David Moyes said, no, of this I will not put. And
they need
he
to
would
get
do
out as soon as possible if they do that. They need to get out as soon as possible if they do that, because that's like, shame me once, shame on you, shame me twice, shame on me, shame on them. Honestly,
we'll see.
Peach, how far are you from Brampton? Scarborough, Brampton.
buddy. I'm like, my brethren lives in Brampton, Charlie Royal. It's like, what, half an hour away.
I should be there. Hopefully, in not so near future. I'll shout out to you. Yeah.
No, when you rolling through?
Yeah, as soon as things calm down, and I've got a lot of family in Brampton, Scarborough, Dixie, Vancouver, Edmonton.
I used to work in Dixie, man. I used to work in it. My dad used to work in Dixie.
Near the airport, isn't it, Dixie?
Yeah. Don't know. Toronto Pearson Airport. Yeah, man.
Lot of Punjabis in Toronto, innit? Seeks loads.
Come again? What did you say?
No,
Hold on. What did
Gatesy.
Jazz say? What did
There's a
Jazz say? What's in Toronto?
lot of Punjabis and Sikhs in Toronto, aren't they, with their turbans?
Oh,
See,
no. Yo, trust me.
loads.
Yo, it's all people
Right, you
here,
can talk.
dog.
Gatesy wants to
All
go
people
talk in the
here,
green
dog.
room.
How do you
Hey,
mean,
look,
man?
now
It's
we're
all
interrupting
people
Gatesy.
here.
We got to be quiet now.
We jam it up. We jam it up down here, dog. Like, yo, you know, business. Like, we got everybody up in the mix here, dog. Straight up. I ain't playing with y'all.
Go ahead, Gatesy. Sorry.
Okay, right. I'm going to end it there, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Gatesy.
Drop a like on the video. Don't forget, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when it is uploaded to the channel. You'll be notified straight away. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
Oh,
Only one thing left to say, isn't there, Milesy?
Gatesy, 1 second. Gatesy, 1 second. Mozzy's in the building. Mozzy's in the building. Rah, rah, rah. Chicka, rah, rah, rah. Come on, you irons.
Milesy, what you got to say?
We are fucking massive, and
Massive.
come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
We're even bigger
Thanks
in
for
the
joining us,
transfer
guys.
market. Even bigger in the market.
Take care, guys.